Hey everyone, it's your girl Layla. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, please go ahead and click the subscribe button below. I upload 3 times a week, Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday. I sometimes do videos like this and I sometimes don't. Usually I stick to vlogs and beauty videos, but today I'm going to be talking about this topic because I just saw a post on Facebook recently. My cousin reposted this picture. I'm going to show you guys it right now. And I just felt the need to talk about this because I can relate, okay? And I don't want to offend anybody with the title or anything like that. So if you're new here and you don't know already, I am half Filipino. So I'm talking about my own culture. I'm not trying to bash like a whole nother culture. If you're like watching this video for the first time and you're like, why is this white girl talking about Filipino culture like she knows something? It's because I do know something. I was raised mostly in a Filipino type manner by my mother, so I pretty much know a lot about this topic that I can talk to you guys about, so that's what I'm going to do today. So basically I saw this picture and I was like, okay, why is this girl announcing this on Facebook? Like, who is she? I don't want to offend anybody again by not knowing who she is. I believe she's a singer in the Philippines. She's I don't have TFC, I don't have the Filipino channel. My mom doesn't really keep up with actors, actresses, and singers and that sort of thing. So I'm pretty sure she is a singer. The comments on this picture, I was just like, girl, what is going on? The negativity that surrounds her, all because she lives with her boyfriend. And that is really like a big no-no in Filipino culture. I don't know if it's more prominent I'm pretty sure it's more prominent in the Philippines to be like that, to be a no-no, and Western culture to be more accepting about it. But personally, I've had to deal with a lot of flack from my mom's friends, from my mom. There's other stuff I'm going to be talking about in this video because of that. So this girl was basically being bashed because she lives with her man, and they're calling her a slut, they're calling her like just a bunch of degrading names, and it's all because she's supposedly not a virgin anymore. I just have my own experiences that I can talk about regarding this topic. Okay, so first things first, I know that it's not just Filipino cultures that have this big stigma around women's worth being on if our hymens are broken or not. And that's like the most simplest way to put it. I know it's not just Filipino cultures, but there's a lot of cultures that base women's worth on that. And in 2019, I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right at all. Basically, like growing up and stuff like that, my mom was always really strict with me and dating and boys and stuff like that. She'd always tell me that boys only want one thing, and once they get it, they're going to leave you. It doesn't matter if you're pregnant, doesn't matter if you're his first, he's gonna leave you, he's gonna get bored, he's gonna go to someone else. And all boys and men's mindsets are like that, and I want to tell you guys that's completely wrong. Not all guys are going to leave you just because you give it up to them, you know. And I just found that so interesting. My mom didn't want me to date until I was like after I was done college, which was not a problem. Not a problem for her, not a problem for me, because I was ugly AF back in high school. Nobody wanted me. Nobody wanted to date me. My mom really lucked out on that one because nobody wanted to date me back then anyways. But she would just always warn me about stuff like that and about going to the Philippines by myself. I didn't actually want to go to the Philippines by myself. I wanted to go with my friend, and she just made a huge deal about it, about how guys there had this like certain mindset, and once they saw me, they were going to like try to get me in bed with them and all this shit. So I didn't end up going to the Philippines, and I feel like this is just a mindset with Filipinos that's like super toxic, and I honestly do feel like women's worth shouldn't be based on that. This girl, Nadine, she's supposedly a successful singer in the Philippines, and people are bullying her online. People are bashing her about this, about living with her man, because it's so wrong, it's really bad and blah blah blah. At least I'm gonna tell you guys, at least she's not like going home every night to a different man, you know. Like it could be like that. She could be single and she could be one of those girls that come home every night with a different man, and there's nothing wrong with that either. There's nothing wrong with that. But she's coming home to one man. She lives with her boyfriend. So I don't see how that's wrong in any way, and she shouldn't be getting the comments that she's getting on her photos and stuff like that about that being wrong. And it's definitely a toxic Filipino mindset, and it just needs to stop, because honestly, it's 2019. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing, really? So if you guys already didn't know, my fiance is also half Filipino. And if you guys are new here also and you didn't know, we live together. So we started living together at the end of last year, and I will do a whole nother video on what my mom thinks about that. My mom is definitely more supportive than my dad is. My dad is not Filipino, but he still has that like old-fashioned mindset, and me and him have our issues. We don't agree with a lot of things, so that's just one of the many things. But I'll get into another video about how my mom reacts, or what my mom thinks about us living together, if you guys want to know what that's like. But it's not like she hasn't dealt with flack from her friends. I can tell you guys some stuff. Like, I've had my aunties or like her friends being like, okay, like her man is never gonna marry her because they live together now. I got engaged probably a month before we started living together, so if I was worried about that, I'm really not worried about that right now. Like, I am 100% confident that he's going to marry me, that he didn't just give me a ring just because he just went through this whole like process of trying to figure out what to say to me, to propose to me, and he wanted to make that night so special, and there's no way that he would just do that to not marry me in the end, you know? So I'm pretty confident that that's not going to be an issue, but that's what some people think. Some people think he's not going to marry her because they live together or whatever. Like, how are they affecting your life? They don't live with you, they're not your family, they're just random ass people, and they're telling you what you should and shouldn't do. They're telling, you know, your Filipino parents what their daughters and sons are doing, and comparing is just not healthy. That's not a healthy like mindset. I feel like when I was a child, I was compared a lot to my cousins, and oh, it's like, she's so smart, she's so good at this, why can't you be more like her? You need to have her mindset about school, you need to like focus your time, be better. And I mean, to a point, there's, you know, that's okay, like there's some positive in that, but for the most part, it's just offering negativity. You know, my cousin was never perfect. I was not trying to be like her, and it just kind of caught a like rift between us. Just a lot of stuff related to that. And then there's the more like westernized Filipinos that have talked to my mother and have been like, oh, you know, it's okay that they live together, it's probably a good thing because they are not, you know, they get to learn about each other before they actually take the plunge. I mean, what if we couldn't live together? What if there was just something that bothered me about him, or something that bothered him about me? Like, say it's the way like I chew, or it's the way that he handles his money, or just something that would bother me without, you know, without knowing that, without living with him. If there was something that bad that I just couldn't deal with, and I didn't know beforehand, before taking the plunge and getting married, the chance that you could get a divorce, there's a chance that you could end up being in a toxic relationship, in a toxic situation, in a controlling situation, because you didn't know beforehand, before getting married. You decided that, you know, you would listen to what society tells you, get married, and then find out all this stuff about your man that you just can't deal with. I personally don't think it's wrong to live with your boyfriend or significant other before you get married. There's nothing wrong with that at all, and I think that toxic Filipino culture needs to fix that, because that's what I believe personally. I know I'm like westernized, I don't even look Filipino. I know I can't speak Tagalog, I can't speak Visaya, but trust me when I say, like, my mom treated me very strictly growing up, and she was very hard on me. So I understand Filipino culture in a way that some Western like halfers don't understand the culture very well. I feel like I do. There's a whole lot of drama too within the Filipino community that I'm not even gonna bother talking about in this video. I'm not even gonna bother touching on, because there's just so much like jealousy, people bashing each other, people that just can't be happy for somebody's success. And I'm pretty sure that that is mostly the reason why people hate on Nadine so much, is because she is successful. It's not, this is just like one thing that they're nitpicking out of many things. And you know what, if somebody's hating on you, you're doing something right. You're doing something right. So I mean, best of luck to her. I know she's probably never gonna watch this video, she's never gonna see this, but just keep going, keep stacking up your money, girl, and who cares what people think. So that is pretty much the moral of this video, to stop thinking about what other people think of you and just live your life. If you want to do something that other people think is wrong, as long as it's not harming you, go for it. Get a tattoo, get a piercing, live with your boyfriend. Who cares? It's 2019. Live your life. And that is pretty much it for this video. If you guys want more of these, like, I know other toxic Filipino mindsets that I could talk about. Yeah, there's a few. So this is just one that kind of just, I saw this picture and I was like, oh my god, I can relate. I can relate to that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, my Filipinos, my non-Filipinos, and I will see you guys soon in my next video. Bye everyone.